Welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I am barefaced because we are going to be talking in depth about the Kylie Skin skincare line. I have been using this now for 2 months or just over 2 months, so I can honestly tell you my thoughts on everything. This is not a first impression, nor is this a video, I guess, where I personally know Kylie or I'm a fan of Kylie. To be honest, I don't know her, nor do I really care too much about her. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good unbiased review on this skincare line because I don't really have any feelings towards her, good or bad. So first of all, I want to talk about the cleanser. This is the Kylie Skin cleanser. As you can see, I have used a significant amount of this cleanser during my 2 months or just over 2 month period. This is a foaming cleanser, so it is like very, very foamy. When you pump it into your hand, it has a nice pump for dispersal, which I really like. So this is one thing about packaging. The packaging is great. It is a frosted plastic, so it's lightweight. I do like the fact that it has like the entire line is very cohesive with a beautiful pale pink, so I do love that. And this pump is very strong. So even though it's plastic, you don't have to worry about the product not coming out. It comes out perfectly, and you really don't need a lot to get your whole face covered. The point of this one is to have your skin already damp, and you are supposed to pump, like they say no more than 1 pump. I've done even half a pump because this cleanser goes quite a long way. Now, the first couple weeks of using this cleanser, I did find that when I used it twice a day, so morning and night, I did find that it was too much for my skin. If you guys are new to my channel, my skin type is normal, so I don't have a dry or an oily or even combination. For the most part, it's pretty well normal evenly across my face. I do have some skincare kind of concerns now that I am 30, so I just turned 30 myself. I do have some rosacea on my cheeks, and I have some acne to my chin. This cleanser is not one that has like acne fighting ingredients in it. I don't believe anyways. Let me know down below if that is incorrect. But when I looked at the ingredients, there's nothing like salicylic acid in here, which is very common in an acne kind of cleanser. Nothing like that. There's nothing benzoyl peroxide or anything or acne fighting stuff. This is purely just a face wash for a simple cleanse. I didn't think that this was going to attack my acne at all, and it didn't. It didn't make it any worse, but it definitely didn't make it any better either. So when I was using this day and night, like I said, it was too much. I did find that it was too drying on my skin when I was using it twice. So when I did continue to use it for the testing period, I just used it at night. I did take off my makeup with a micellar water first because I found that putting this to my eyes was not pleasant. I felt like it kind of stung a little bit. So even though they say you can remove makeup, you probably can't remove eye makeup very easily because it will sting, which I didn't like. So luckily I did a little bit of a test and already found out that I was getting irritated. I wouldn't necessarily say that like this is the most drying foaming cleanser I've ever used. This is definitely a cleanser that with just 1 use per day is not too bad on my normal skin. I don't think that it was stripping or anything, but the thing that bothered me the most about this was that it does leave a little bit of like a residue or some kind of film on your skin when you're done. It's almost like a tacky kind of feeling. So would I repurchase this foaming cleanser again? The answer is definitely not. I'm actually kind of thankful that my testing period is done because I do have cleansers that are much more mild. I can use them twice a day. They do actually have some acne fighting ingredients, which is suitable for my skin, and they don't leave that filmy residue on my skin. That is definitely the biggest turnoff with this foaming cleanser. I want to talk about the walnut scrub. That is a scrub that I already threw out the container for, so I do apologize for that, but I do have my thoughts on that. So I did use it all to its entirety, and I do have a funny little story that's attached to that and why I did use it fully up. When I used that scrub to my face, one thing that I found was that it wasn't like it was harsh on my skin immediately. When I was using it on my face, I did feel the texture of the exfoliant because it is a walnut scrub, so it does have that physical exfoliating property of the walnut shells. You do feel them on the skin, but it's not overly scratchy or anything. But one thing that I did find was that as I was doing my research and looking into dermatological articles, like articles written by dermatologists, articles written by estheticians, I did find that the conclusion of walnut shells not being ideal for the skin was something that really concerned me to the point where I just wanted to stop it entirely. Knowing that the damage is at the microscopic level, I couldn't tell if it was disrupting my skin until probably the damage would have accumulated to a point where I then would have noticed it, potentially with more acne, more redness, or just overall uneven texture on my skin. And at that point, it would have been way too far gone. You would have had to do like more extensive treatments to undo that damage. I've also used the Ole Henriksen walnut scrub in the past. I do enjoy it too, but I felt like because of the fact that the walnut shells are so uneven, when you get down to a microscopic level, you are potentially creating some micro tears. And I just thought, you know what, it's not worth it. There's other exfoliants out there that are not made of walnut shells. So if you want a physical exfoliant, the one by Dr. Lancer is really nice. It is expensive, but it is a physical exfoliant that doesn't have walnut shells. And you can also use chemical exfoliants as well. So those are nicer to just make sure that you don't have that microscopic damage to the skin cells. So I used my walnut scrub completely because I had a spray tan one day and I put my tan into a bath. So I sat in a bath with a Lush bath bomb. It was a black bath bomb that had active charcoal in it, so I didn't realize that it was stripping my tan as I was sitting in the tub. So I did end up exfoliating the rest of the tan off using that walnut scrub. It worked amazingly actually. So knowing that it scrubs off tan pretty easily on my body, I figured that it was being a little bit too hard on my face anyway. So that is why I just decided to use it up for my body, and that was it. I would not repurchase it. I certainly wouldn't recommend it either. Now let's go to the toner. So the toner is a vanilla toner. I do have this one still, and I think that I've used quite a bit of this, but when you actually put it into the light, it's about this far down. So it's actually still got a lot of product in it, and that's the first strength that I have from this product. There's a lot of product in it and you don't need a lot. This is a very creamy, milky cleanser. It does smell like vanilla. Yeah, it's a very strong vanilla, but not synthetic smelling, very natural smelling for sure. And the one thing that I do like about this is that it does give you a nice hydrated look to the skin. The one thing that I will say that I do think is something that I didn't notice with this toner at all during the 2-month span of testing was that I didn't think that this aided in helping the rest of the skincare to really absorb into the skin. I do like that this one is alcohol free. That's another thing that I really appreciate. A lot of toners do have alcohol, and to me it's a bit strong on my skin when it does have alcohol in it. So I do like that this one is alcohol free, but I don't think that the benefits of this one are enough to justify the price, even though the price is lower, like on the lower end. So for this, I think this is still, out of all of the products, this is a fairly good kind of toner, and you do get a lot for your money. But would I repurchase it? No, because I do have other toners I really like. Granted, they are a bit more expensive, the ones that I use, but I love them and I know they do something for my skin, so I feel like the money isn't wasted. The toner that I really like is the Dermalogica toner. It has a spray and it's just the best for my skin. Next, I want to talk about the vitamin C serum, and this is the next step that I use in the routine. This is really nice because it is a milky one, so it's a little bit different than other vitamin C's I have tried, because the other vitamin C's I've tried are more gel or water-like. This is kind of what it looks like here on my hand, so it is fairly light and like milky. And you rub it in and it is very smoothing. It is, like I said, got a bit of that glow, and it does have that hydration component to it, which I really like. Now, the one thing with the vitamin C serum that I am after is if it has any brightening properties, because that's what vitamin C is supposed to do. It's supposed to brighten your skin. It's supposed to kind of encourage that cell turnover. And as you can see, I do have some scarring from the acne that I do have on my chin area. What I do find though is that this didn't really touch it whatsoever. Even my more expensive vitamin C serums that I have tried, like the one from Tatcha, the Violet C serum, that is a vitamin C that has actually tackled this a little bit, but it does take tons of time with using the product consistently. These hyperpigmentation spots are just way too deep, in my opinion. You would probably need to get something that's prescription grade. But for something like this, I didn't notice much of anything. I didn't notice much of brightening. I did notice hydration. I did notice a bit of a glow. But when you have that toner on, which I did use it after the toner, it almost felt like it just kind of sat on the skin. It didn't feel like it absorbed as much as I thought it would. It absorbed a little bit, but not to the point where I felt like it was like totally absorbed, like into my skin, really plumping it out and putting that active ingredient into my skin, which is what I'm after, obviously. So I don't know if this is also worth the money at this point. The percentage of vitamin C isn't posted anywhere, so I don't know how potent this actually is. I don't know if it's even potent enough to make a difference, or if it's just kind of in the serum and this is just meant to kind of help with glow. I'm not sure, but I don't think that the effectiveness of brightening is there. So for that reason, why am I using a serum? You know, I can still have glow and moisture and hydration from a moisturizer. So for that reason, I also wouldn't repurchase this either. Now let's talk about the moisturizing products. We do have a face moisturizer here, and we have the eye cream. I'm going to talk about the eye cream first. I do like the packaging of this, how it does have like a nice seamless opening kind of at the top. The one thing that I don't like is that this tip is plastic and it's actually fairly sharp. You do see Kylie demoing this product in like all of her promo videos, and she actually like demos it under the eye and puts it on the eye using the container. And I did try that, but it just tugs at the skin because of the plastic opening there, and it does hurt. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again. So what I did was I just put some onto my hand, or onto my finger, sorry, and then I just pressed it in with my finger, and that's what I did. So this is what the eye cream looks like. As you can see, it's got a yellow color, and in my opinion, I don't know, besides if the point of that was to kind of cancel a little bit of dark circles, perhaps. I don't know why else it would be a yellow color, but I don't need that for a nighttime eye cream, just for during the day when I'm prepping my skin afterwards. So when I did use that during the day, I found it brightened a little bit for sure. But when it comes to an eye cream, I am after hydration. I am after if it doesn't cause me milia, which is those like bumps that you get kind of right in here when you have an eye cream that's just too thick and it's pore clogging. This one surprisingly did not cause me any milia, which I like. I did like that it had that brightening effect to it. The only thing that I will say is that when I do layer this underneath makeup, it doesn't really penetrate the skin as much as I would like. So I do find that the makeup that I do put over top of that tends to kind of move throughout the day because the moisturizer is not actually penetrating into the skin to have a very moisturized base. So I did use it at night. I felt that it was best used at night, and this eye cream wasn't terrible. I don't think it was that bad at all, but I certainly wouldn't put it under makeup. Now the last thing is this face moisturizer, and the dispenser on this one as well is so terrible, but for different reasons. This one I'm going to show you just live on camera. So what you do is you can put like a little bit at first on your hand like that, but this to me is not quite enough for my décolleté and face, so then I have to apply more. So then I go like this and I apply more, and as you can see, it's not coming out. You pump and you pump and you pump, like for days. Still pumping. There we go. And then it finally comes out. You can potentially make that amount work, but I feel like I had to pull on my skin a bit more because this is a thick moisturizer, so it doesn't have a lot of slip compared to some other ones. A thick moisturizer isn't the biggest deal in the world for me, but I do prefer it more so in the winter months when I do feel like my skin needs it and can benefit more from it. The thing with this moisturizer that I find is that it doesn't penetrate and absorb into the skin. That is the biggest thing that I'm finding with a lot of the products in this line, and I think it starts with the toner, to be honest. When you have like the toner and then you go down the line with the skincare regimen, I just find that this didn't really absorb into my skin at all. It just kind of sat on top. And when I wake up in the morning, I find that it hasn't moved. Like, it hasn't absorbed at all. It's almost like I just put it on top like a face mask and it didn't do anything. Out of everything, you guys, I think that the two things that are the safest to use would probably be the eye cream and the moisturizer. But these did way better when I didn't have the toner and the rest of the regimen. I did find that the moisturizer penetrated the skin a bit better when I used it by itself. Same with the eye cream, but I wouldn't put any of these under makeup either because even though they did a little bit better without the toner step, I didn't think that they suited my makeup looks at all as a base because they just don't penetrate enough to give you that smooth, hydrated canvas that you need for your makeup to really sit in place and stay. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions further, I'll be happy to answer them down below about this line, but those are my honest thoughts, and I really hope this helped you decide if you want to purchase anything or not from the skincare line. Until my next video, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.